Hello, viewers. This is Moment with PJ. I am still Udochukwu Kenihoma. I'll be your host for today's episode. And today we shall be talking about the role of the grandparents in a modern family. Our grandparents are a treasure trove of love. They are known for their wisdom, their support. In fact, their role in a family cannot be overstated. We see about the caregiving, the mentoring, the support that they give to our immediate families. I have here with me PJ to help us throw light into this discussion. Kindly stay tuned as we discuss. Thank you very much. And you're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Queen, for having me.
Thank you very much.
That's a nice topic.
Yes, the role of grandparents is really a wonderful topic.
Do you have a grandparent?
They're both late. I only
Sorry.
met two.
Or you met?
Yes, I only met two, and they're my grandmothers, and they were fun.
What did you learn from your grandmother?
All right, Land.
Yeah, that you can't forget.
I can't forget.
Tell me one.
One, composure.
She taught you to be composed.
Yeah.
How to sit
How to sit
as a woman.
as a woman.
Wow.
Yes. You don't sit carelessly in the presence of my grandmother,
Grandmother taught you that.
of course. And then this is their fun storytelling. This like taste by moonlight stories. You learn a lot from their story because after giving the story, they will tell you the summary of the
And the
story
lessons in
and
the
the
stories.
lessons in the stories. They are really fun to be with. Okay. And so we shall be looking at their basic roles in the
Okay.
modern families as regarding today.
Okay.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I want us to bring about some points. I think I should be doing it. When I bring out some points, you help us we discuss it
Okay.
and help us throw light to it.
I'm not a grandfather yet.
We are not, but both of us are not. But at least we had one.
Okay,
And
so
like share their own experience, we learn
okay,
some
so
things. From.
okay, very good.
Yes.
Very good.
And so I want us to talk about first of all the family history and heritage that the grandparents
The grandparents are custodian of history.
histories. Yes.
That is one of the things we must know.
Mm.
Unfortunately, that part is gradually eroding mankind.
Mm.
I hear people say history repeats itself. That's a big fat lie. History don't repeat itself.
Okay.
It is the man that fails to learn from history
History. Yes.
that repeats history.
Mm.
And so any man without grandparents may not understand their historical background,
Yes.
their cultural background,
Background.
and their value system.
Yes.
All right. So our grandparents, they have our history.
Mm.
I've been privileged to meet with one that told me the story of my father. I was ashamed when the story was told because I had my father in very high esteem. And so when the grandmother was talking to me, do you know this man you call your father? Of course, the son. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. I came back from the village. I couldn't tell my dad those things.
Mm.
But I was looking at him one kind.
Mm.
And so it's important we have our grandparents with us.
Yes.
Tradition is not lost with them.
Then
So tradition is passed from generations
to
to
generation.
generations where we have them.
Yeah.
You can't downplay their importance.
Very, very.
So they are the custodian of our history,
Mm.
be it cultural.
Mm.
They have it.
Yes.
They have it. In this part of the world where we came from, we confine our grandparents to the village. I will see them once in every year. That is for some of you that travel. Me that travel once in 7 years. I don't get to see them. And so that historical knowledge,
So that means your grandparents are still alive?
they've gone to be with God.
Oh, well, you're talking as though they're still living.
Yes, I saw them okay, I was privileged to meet my maternal grandmom
Oh.
and my paternal grandmom. I met them. I think I was a little bit knowledgeable when I met them. It was quite instructive. And so if we confine them to the villages alone, how then do we learn these cultures?
Mm.
Many things are wrong in our marriages today
Very, very.
because the history and tradition and culture and value of our family lineage are with them. And with time, they are fizzling out.
Also, probably most of the parents of nowadays probably were not opportuned actually to have their grandparents taught them.
Because of
their brains, some of them have even
migration didn't help. Our parents grew up in the villages with their parents.
Okay.
We now grew up in the city that we need to plan our travels to see our grandparents.
Yeah.
It become a challenge.
Mm.
Only Christmas period we want to go, which is fun in itself.
Mm.
Okay? But why generations past, they don't travel. So I have my father, his mom was there, his mom was there. So they were cohabiting,
Together.
as it were.
Yes.
And so the upbringing of our parents were done by their mother and by their grandmother together.
Mm.
But in search for greener pastures, were all born in the city, and so that impact they would have had in us is either not there or reduced to the barest minimum.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you very much for that explanation, sir. Okay, I want us to also talk about their support for working parents.
Yes. Another thing again about our grandparents, they are very strong support system.
Okay.
The other is their mentors, but let's leave that. They are good support structures. You can rely on them to take care of your children. You can depend on them to raise your children because they raise your parents. All right. You know, in today's world where there is high rate of criminality, that you don't even trust your blood to stay with your children.
Yes.
We have cases where, you know, family members are abusing your children in your absence.
Yes, yes.
And so our grandparents come handy in that regard. They are a very strong support system. When they visit us, they are multitasking. They know how to sing our children off pain. They know how to tell those folk stories that drag them close.
Yes.
Our children look forward to grandma because they'll tell you what we don't even know.
Okay, now why is it there are some misconceptions about our grandparents in the sense that they say they spoil children when they come around them?
Not that they spoil children, they understand parenting. All right. I don't know any grandma or grandfather that don't know how to give small slap. They pamper you, they play with you, but they know how to draw the line.
Okay.
They know it. But because of the stories they tell and the sweet things they do, they can make you sleep with ease. They are patient, unlike we that are rushing to go watch one movie on the television, want to catch the news, want to rest, to go to work the next day. They are patient. They've got nothing doing but to take care of these people. So they have time dedicated to the children, and so we think they are spoiling them. But trust me.
What about the case of indiscipline when it has to do with eating? Because they give them much food that parents don't give. And so when they go to their grandparents and when they come back, you see them eating so much.
Now, can I shock you?
Okay.
Your grandmother raised your mother.
Of course.
What makes you think she can't raise your children better than you?
They can. They do, actually. They do. But you know, so, the love for grandchildren is so high.
Yes.
That they tend to give everything they have.
They understand balancing. It is you that is complaining that they eat too much. They know when the child is failed. Don't forget, every grandmother or grandfather was a mother and father. They raised their children to become stable and successful adults. And so you must trust them with their grandchild or their grandchildren. All right? So this issue of, oh, they pamper, they don't pamper. Of course, at that age, all right, a lot of water has gone under the bridge. What they were when they were nursing fathers and mothers had gone. Experiences they've now have. Now they are not in their 80s. They are in their 70s. When they look at those child, they don't just see those children. They see you in them. Because they saw how you play. And they see you, a replica, in your children. So most times, when you see them smiling, they're not smiling with the children. They say, wow, I remember when Queen was stubborn. This one took after Queen. So they see you in your children. It is the love for you they automatically transfer to your children.
Well, we are not thinking that they even love the children much more than us, because when we come, they don't even see us anymore.
Because you're already made.
Oh, okay.
You're already fulfilled. They have a response. Listen, if we so trust them to raise you a successful adult, they want to trust them to do same with those kids. Okay. From there, we now know that corporal punishment is not the way out.
Okay.
We now know from them that they teach us to love more than to punish more.
Okay.
They didn't know in their time, but they are now old. They've seen a lot. They've heard a lot. And so, they are now magnanimous in their heart. As against punishment, they punish with love. And they talk more in wisdom.
That's the part I wanted to talk about now. I wanted to for us to discuss about their impact in the area of wisdom and guidance.
Yeah, you cannot stay with your grandparents and miss your way. Because there is something only age can teach a man.
Yes.
Experience, yes, comes to a large extent from number of years you have sojourned on earth.
Yes.
They've seen wars. They've fought battles. They've conquered challenges. And in their late 70s, 80s, their well of wisdom. When they open their mouth, they dissipate wisdom.
Yes.
They don't
Very
think what to
correct.
say. And so having them is more, for me, it pays us more having them than not having them. All right. Their wisdom is there as a guide. For me, they are more of mentors
Sorry.
to
All
us.
right.
Because in their wisdom, they give us guidance.
Yes.
In their wisdom, we see light.
Mm.
There is nothing you are going through in your marriage that they've not seen, experience, or had.
Hard. Yes.
And so they are mentors.
Mm.
They are role models. They are modeling us into them. Unfortunately, the generation of our grandparents are gone. The value they had is gone. At times when I look at today's children, I wonder, when this one become a grandparent, which story?
Would they have to tell?
Yes.
It's true.
Look at what's happening. No morality, no discipline, no purposeful living. And so when you become a grandfather, ask yourself, what can you offer your grandparents, your grandchildren? Nothing.
Absolutely.
Nothing. And you know why?
Mm.
Our grandparents are going, and they are going in their wisdom.
They're going in their wisdom, and there's none to tell. Oh,
No transfer.
transfer. Wow, thank you for that explanation, sir. Now, please, can you tell us some of the traditional roles played by grandparents?
Before now, unfortunately, civilization has taken that off them.
Mm.
Grandparents were instrumental to the choice of life partners.
Yes.
They are very much on ground because they live in a communal kind of setting. They know almost all the families.
Yes.
They saw all those children growing up. They know which of these young men will become a good husband, yes, and which of those girls can become a good wife. And so they prefer such advices. Mm. They can tell you, this family is good, enter this family. They can tell you, this family, they are good, but avoid this family. That part gradually is eroding us. Of course, in Africa, that's how we grew up. We marry by recommendation. Yes. But today, that part is gone. All right. And we must respect the times that we are in. All right. Mm. And so traditionally, they were involved in the making of new homes. Okay. They were involved. So when you have your grandparents, they give you the wisdom as a woman. Like you just said in your opening thought, your grandma taught you how to sit. Yes. There is a way to sit as a lady. And there's a way to sit as a guy. And very important. Unfortunately, people don't know it. Yes. You see ladies sitting like guys. Okay. No, that is the way to sit. That is tradition. Yes. Okay? All of these are the things that make the generation past very beautiful, colorful, and admired. Mm. But today it's gone. And it's a problem. Right, because it's a very big problem. It is. So for those whose grandparents are still alive, please take, as against traveling to the Caribbean island, travel, go see your grandparents. And as well, go with the kids. Go and spend, of course, go and spend 1 week and go with your lecture notes. Oh, thank you very much, sir. Sir, please, can you also bring, how will you coin that into these modern times? Okay. As the strategies provided for our grandparents to suit in this modern time? Unfortunately, they may not be suiting into these times. A lot has changed. There are now generational gaps. Okay, so for we to do that, we have to break generations. But what we can do is to pay them a visit. Yeah. You know, this part of the world, unfortunately, our financial situations affect a lot of things. Nothing stops you from just traveling home and asking your grandparents to come stay with you for 3 weeks. They will light up your home. Mm. They will spark your house. True. As a working class woman, by the time you are back, be rest assured that a very wonderful delicacy is ready. As an African, I love food. Like food. Yes, I love food. I love food. You know, so nothing stops us from saying, Grandma, can you come please visit us in Lagos for just 2 weeks? Within that 2 weeks, you take them for health checks, go check their BP, just check their vitals to be sure they're fine. Why they in turn start teaching your children those things that you've lacked, those things you've forgotten, they start teaching your children. They'll tell your male child, don't you know you are a boy? You don't beat your sister. Men don't beat girls. Men protect. Yes. I get what I'm saying. Those days, a young man will stand against his sister's enemy. And not really stand against his own sister. Very true. So when we bring them live with us, it can be financially challenging because of their health and all that. But if you are financially capable to doing it, bring them. Release your children to them. Let your children bond with them. You'll be amazed. 3 weeks with your children, they'll start correcting their mother at home.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a very good one. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Now, how can we now tap into this wisdom and the experience of our grandparents in our lives?
Visit them often. Visit them. Visit them. They are aging. Aging process has caught up with them. And by reason of age, they'll be going down any moment. How painful will it be to realize that they go without a transfer of their knowledge? I read somewhere and something happened. I think someone was beaten by one of these insects, and a guy looked at the impact of the insect and said, I remember my grandfather. He said, why? He said, my grandfather had these leaves at the backyard of the house. He would just run and just squeeze 2 leaves together, rub at that place, and the pain and the mark will disappear. He remembered his grandfather when there is a problem. Unfortunately, the memory cannot be transformed or translated to solutions. Imagine if he got that knowledge. He remembered, but he can't do it.
Because he doesn't even know this.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know this. If he enters the bush, he will wander all day.
Not knowing it.
Not knowing it. And so we should create time, spend time with our grandparents. It is important. They may not be touched as to this generation, but there is something in the inside of them that needs to be transferred to this generation.
So what if they are not talking grandparents, but there are some that might be very calm? So how do you push them to engage them?
Every grandparent will be joyful seeing their grandchildren. I told you something.
Yes.
The moment they see their grandchild playing, they don't just look at the grandchild. They see their children, their first children in manifestations. I remember. It gives them fun moments. I get what I'm saying. See, we must create a bond. The way to impact this generation is to create a bond with our grandparents. We should stop demonizing them for crying out loud. Create time and bond. Not just we now. Our children should meet them. I watch American movies at times, and you see that most American kids were raised by their grandparents. Check their movies. They tend to love their grandma more than their own mother. Yes! Because they understand these things. They just give birth to them after an age they tell their grandparents. Why? They are the custodian of wisdom and anything you can think of. So the grandparents instill in them
those values.
Even Timothy in the Bible. Timothy was with his mother and with his grandma. When Paul was talking to him, Paul made reference to the impact of his grandmother on Timothy. Their importance cannot be overemphasized. If you still have them, run to them. Ask them questions. Who say they can't talk? Make them talk. Mommy, I have this issue. Tell me your story. You'll be amazed. See, there is nothing that is happening today that not happened in the past. Man keep repeating history because man fails to learn from history.
Yes.
So we should go to them and ask them questions. They'll tell us.
Well, for me, I love I used to love my grandparents a lot.
The question should be,
love them a lot.
What stories, what wisdom are you amassing now? So that when you become a grandma, you not lack wisdom.
We're getting there, sir. Oh, thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you, viewers, for watching this program. At least you have taken one or two out of this. Always take your children to meet your grandparents. Of course, they will learn a lot and they'll grow with a very good mindset, having a good concept for their lives. Thank you for watching. Always like, share, and subscribe to this. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shalom, greeting in Jesus' precious name.
Amen.